few mornings ago, we were watching this video right here. This was made 9 years ago, I think. Yeah, 9 years ago. Our church buildings, covert Masonic lodges. We were watching it on one of my external hard drives, just going through some of the older videos that Oliver hadn't seen before and things. And as we're going through this, my wife, we're watching it, and she goes, "Well, hold on a second, go back. What was that one Scottish Rite degree? Did it say something about Noahide?" And let me play a little bit here. I'm not going to play the audio. I'll let you go and listen to that if you want to, but you'll see here in a minute. And it's what I was doing in this video is showing that the church buildings go by the same type of things that the Masonic Lodge says to do this when, be faithful to the lodge, come be a virtuous person, do good things for the community, all the stuff the church buildings do. So church buildings are just basically covert Masonic lodges. They're for the lower, uninitiated people. And, right there is your behavior the same both in and out of lodge. Funny, this is a Scottish Rite website. So it goes there, and you can see Long Beach Scottish Rite up here at the top of the screen. But look here, it says Council of Kadush, or whatever, 21st degree, Noahide or Prussianite degree master. And you can read all this stuff down in here, watch the video originally. But thankfully, it's not Noahide, it's just Noachite. It's not the same thing, completely different. Actually, yes, it is. So now if you're conspiracy minded, which I strongly recommend against, because everything's just by coincidence, there's no conspiracy stuff. But if you're conspiracy minded, you might be tempted to think that maybe the Freemasonic Lodge is going to help bring in the Antichrist Noahide system. Maybe they've been training Scottish Rite Freemasons for a long time to be good little Noahide people. If you don't understand the whole Noahide system, basically you'll have the Jews ruling in the end times, according to the Kabbalistic, Talmudic type of system. They believe that they will be ruling, and the Gentiles will be forced to convert into being Noahide. And of course you have the Roman Catholic Church going along with this with their Second Vatican Council, the Ecumenical Council in the 1960s. Nostra Aetate was their thing that they said about the Catholics and the Jews can now work together and things. That's why all the popes since then have been real sissies and whatever else, and basically the Jews are working with them and things. But all these different organizations are coming together to make this new system. Donald Trump has done a lot to further the Noahide system as well. Which is why most of his children are now converted to being Jews. But interesting. But if you want to hear some more things about the whole Freemasonic connections to a lot of false teachings, here's another one for you. A post-trib Masonic ritual. I made this one 9 years ago as well, talking about this guy, Charles G. Finney, who was a former Freemason, and he got into the teaching that they believe that the church has to go through kind of a time of purification. Again, you can watch that one. Here, actually back when I was in Pennsylvania, I traveled to Hershey, Pennsylvania, right along Route 322. If you know anything about Skull and Bones, there was this Masonic Lodge number 666. Right there it is on the side of the building. I'm actually filming it, standing there. So I get into some other things there. Here's the front of it. There's me standing there filming it. Looking at the back with all the windows covered in. Not like they'd be doing anything, bad or dark back in there or anything, Of course not. But little interesting thing here that I found. I did this video. This was this year, 4 months ago. And I said that I believe that there's some kind of the thing of the Christian Zionism, then you have Masonic Zionism, where it's kind of the Christian Zionism says, okay, we understand the King James Bible says that the Jews will come back to the land in unbelief, and God's going to judge them when they get back to their land. But the Masonic Zionism says, as Christians, wink, wink, we understand the Jews will go back to the land, and we can promote that. And we should be raising the red heifer for them, and we should help them to build their temple, and we should be financing and all this other stuff. And as I was finishing up this book here, which I did a review on earlier, Dispensationalism Before Darby, I came upon a very interesting quote here on page number 312, talking about a man named Richard Clarke, 1740 to 1740 to 1780. 1780, long before John Nelson Darby in 1930. It says here, while he did cite scripture, he was greatly influenced by the Jewish mysticism of Kabbalah, as well as eschatological authors such as Joseph Mead, Hugh Broughton, Thomas Burnett, and Henry Moore, page 312. Well, this book right there, it says it. All right. Don't know if I can get in here close enough that you can read that. Probably not. But you can see it there. You'd have to zoom in on that. But, rather interesting that you have a book and he's honest enough to say, hey, you know what? Yeah, there were some dispensational guys that were a little bit nutty in the head. See, it's not that the right type of dispensationalism, the true dispensational teaching, everybody was dispensational, believed it, going the whole way back to the first century. No, it's that there were a lot of people that even were heretics that believed in dispensationalism. They didn't all believe it the right way, but the thing that we're trying to refute, that he tried to refute with this book, is that the non-dispensationalists will come out and they'll say there was no mention of dispensationalism before John Nelson Darby in 1830. That's not true. It's not true. Lots of people believed in many different versions of dispensationalism. So, but very interesting that one of the dispensational guys from the 1700s was very heavily into the Kabbalah. The balancing of the two different sides, the dark and light, and the male and female, and all the other stuff that Kabbalistic magic gets into. Almost like we have to have this evil nation of Israel, but we have to make it blessed somehow. Now this kind of Masonic square and compass. The upward pointing triangle points to God, the downward pointing triangle points down to hell. As above, so below, if you understand all the occult significance with that. So just an interesting thing there, that one of the Scottish Rite degrees is literally the Council of Kadosh. The 21st degree is Noahide, or Noachite. And that's what it's talking about. You read into the whole thing there. And then you have a ritual that they do in Freemasonry that it relates to the post-trib thing. The post-trib system where people will be forced to be Noahide. Very interesting. And I'm sure that this place will be used very mightily in that time. The Masonic Lodge number 666, right along route number 322. And then tied into that study there. So I guess that's going to be it for this video. Got a little guest back here over my shoulder. He's back there hiding. Do you have anything to say?
I can't think of anything.
You can't think of anything? Wow. I have to get to work on him. He can't think of anything. All right, so that is going to be it.
Thank you for watching.